Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new women's Nike Magista Obra in the black, bright crimson, white, and dark gray colorway. Now inside the box, they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with white strings. You have the white Nike football branding on the one side and a single white Nike swoosh on the other. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what is actually a really nice colorway of the Nike Magista Obra that happens to be in women's sizing. So keep that in mind. This is not women's fit. This is not made specifically for women. This is just a women's colorway, which means the sizing is different from the men's version of the Obra, but that is absolutely the only difference. So if you are a guy and you want to wear these, you can actually do a sizing conversion to have the equivalent men's size in a women's shoe, and they'll fit you absolutely perfect, just like a regular Magista Obra would. So if you want to learn more about the sizing, stick around. I'm going to be explaining that during the on-feet portion of the video. We're also going to take a closer look at the colorway, talk tech specs, performance, take a look at the weight of the shoe, and basically cover everything you need to know about this new women's Magista Obra. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around, watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, while this is technically a women's colorway of the Magista Obra, I think if we're pretty honest with ourselves, there's been much girlier men's colorways than this one. This one, I would say, is actually pretty straightforward, pretty simple, and doesn't look girly the least bit in my opinion. It's a mostly black shoe with some white, gray, metallic silver, and bright crimson accents. Now, the actual upper itself is pretty much black and white in color. You can see you have a clear Nike skin covering for the majority of the upper, and then the ring going around the bottom edge is a matte black solid color, so you can't actually see the Flyknit underneath, just the texturing. The exposed Flyknit area, though, as you guys can see, features a combination of black and white knitting, which actually looks pretty cool, especially in the collar. Again, kind of shows off the Flyknit aspect of this shoe, and I think it just looks good in general. You can never go wrong with the combo of black and white, but certainly is more black than white. As far as the Nike swoosh and the laces is concerned, that is the bright crimson color, which is always a different shade depending on what shoe they put it on. I would describe this color as kind of an orangey pinkish color. I guess that's the best way to put it. The video is pretty accurate in terms of how it does look in person. And then of course the Nike swooshes themselves are outlined in silver as well. You're gonna find white in the ACC branding as well as the Magista branding going down the back of the collar. And then the heel counter is black, as you guys can see, with the majority of the sole plate being black as well. Then you have this kind of off-white color for the studs and some of the sole plate as well. Almost like a bone color, I guess is the best way to describe it. Not sure where the dark gray comes into play on this particular shoe, but they have it listed on the box for whatever reason. But nonetheless, pretty straightforward colorway, really good looking in my opinion, very simple as well. I like it. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, the Magista Obra is a very capable shoe, which I think most people understand at this point. If you haven't seen the videos on my channel already, there's a playtest as well as a traction test video for the Magista Obra. So I'll leave annotations on screen to both of those if you want to go ahead and check them out, see these shoes in action. But really the main takeaway for this specific video on the Magista Obra is that while this is a women's colorway, the only thing that's different from the men's version is the colorway and the way the sizing works. The shape, the fit, the general construction, the materials, everything else about this shoe is identical to the men's version of the Magista Obra. So one last time, sorry to repeat myself so many times, the only difference between this and a men's colorway of the Magista Obra is the sizing and the colorway, nothing else. So with the Obra, what are you getting? It's a full Flyknit upper. The Flyknit itself, especially in comparison to the Superfly 4, the other full Flyknit shoe from Nike, the actual Flyknit is more dense in terms of its overall construction. It's thicker, and it also has a padded liner. So in comparison to the Superfly, it's not necessarily a thick shoe, but it definitely will feel more padded on the ball. It's not quite as padded as a leather shoe would provide, but it's kind of in between something really thin and something really padded, which actually is a pretty nice sensation that you get from the Obra. It's very, very unique in terms of the touch on the ball that it provides. You're going to find that the upper is also covered in Nike skin, so it's not left completely slick. The shoe doesn't feel grippy on the ball at all, but it doesn't feel slick either. It's kind of right there in the middle and is pretty easy to get used to. You're also going to find that ACC, all conditions control, is a feature acting as your wet control element, just allowing for a little bit better grip on the ball in wet weather playing conditions. You're going to find that on all of Nike's current top end models. As far as structure is concerned, the actual part of the upper covered in Flyknit is very well structured, doesn't really have any stretch to it, but still maintains a nice kind of sock-like level of comfort and flexibility as you would expect from a knitted upper. It does have that padded liner on the inside as well that feels really good against your foot. Plus you have brio cables that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system that are kind of hidden within the knitted pattern of the actual Flyknit upper. So when you pull those laces tight, the midfoot especially is locked in place. Your foot's not sliding around on the inside of the shoe, and it just makes for a nice responsive sensation overall. As far as the exposed Flyknit areas are concerned, which you're going to find going across the top of the foot, where the laces are slightly off-centered, pushed to the medial side as you guys can see. And then of course the collar, this is not covered in Nike skin. That's because it's actually elasticated, so it is slightly stretchy. That's because you just need that little bit of flexibility from the ankle as well as across the top of the foot. So you'll find that when you put these on, the collar stretches, the midfoot stretches, and then it kind of bounces back to its original shape, holding your foot in place really snug even prior to tying the laces. And then when you tie the laces, it locks everything in place. So it's a really interesting, satisfying sensation when you have this shoe on your foot. As far as the mid-cut design is concerned, there is a lot of people that think that this is some kind of a support element or protection element. That's not the case. Yes, there's some protection from this and that it's just an extra layer of material, but beyond that, it's not really going to lessen the impact of any kind of blow to the ankle by any means. And as far as structure is concerned, there's no plastic to this, there's no rigidity to this, there's no extra ankle support that you're going to gain from any of the mid-cut models from Nike. This is here, one, to provide a certain look, which is obviously very unique, and two, to give you more of a kind of flowing sensation in terms of how this shoe fits. It feels like it flows from your leg onto your foot as opposed to something that's just being strapped to your foot, if that makes any sense. On the inside, you're going to find that there is a smooth synthetic leather liner with pretty minimal amounts of padding, if I'm completely honest. This is the one aspect of all the mid-cut models that some people struggle with, especially at first. So stick around to the on-feet portion of the video where I kind of explain the best way to actually break these things in. As far as the insole is concerned, that's fully removable. I'll give you guys a quick look at that. Mesh liner on top, perforations throughout. It's just a single layer of this yellow foam. Nothing too fancy, but it definitely does get the job done. The Obra does feature an external heel counter, which I'm personally a really big fan of. And then you're going to find a glass nylon sole plate, which is a little bit stiff at first, but definitely does loosen up after a few hours of wear time. And it actually feels nice and solid. It's kind of flexible in the right spots and firm enough in the right spots to just give you a nice solid underfoot feel in general. And as far as the stud pattern is concerned, it's all conical studs, very similar to what you're going to get from the Tiempo line, minus the bladed studs in the heel, of course. And as far as the actual traction that it provides on firm natural grass, it's very, very good. I can't complain. The conical studs are fairly long and narrow in profile, so they still dig into the ground quite nicely and provide pretty good bite for perfectly rounded studs. Plus you get that freedom to twist and pivot because of their rounded shape, so you never feel like you're locked in place. And again, it's just a really, really good stud pattern. Not many people complain about it, and there really isn't much reason to. It performs the part. So that's pretty much it in terms of what you're getting with the Magista Obra. It's a very unique package that appeals to a lot of people, and if what I said sounds good to you, it's probably one of those shoes that you are going to thoroughly enjoy. As far as weight is concerned, the Magista Obra is actually a pretty light shoe. It's pretty much the exact same weight as a pair of Superfly 4s in the same size. So what I have right here is a women's size 11 US, which is actually the equivalent of my usual size that I wear in the men's Magista Obra, a 9.5 US. So basically, to go from men's to women's size for Nike at least, you have to go up 1.5 sizes. So again, these are the equivalent of a men's size 9 US that are actually an 11 US women's. I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. I'm going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.35 ounces, right at the 7.4 ounce mark, the equivalent of 208 grams or 209 grams. The scale just changed its mind. So like I said, exactly the same weight as the men's version of the shoe in the equivalent size, a very lightweight shoe as well. So if you're looking for something that is very comfortable on your foot, isn't overly thin as far as what the upper provides, and also is relatively lightweight, the Magista Obra is a very solid option. All right, so here is a look at the women's Magista Obras on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock laces that come with the shoes. And on my right foot, I have a pair of black and white Crackle SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. You find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, given that this is a women's shoe, obviously you're probably wondering, how am I getting the right size? It's the same fit, it's the same exact shape. That's not women's fit. The only difference is the way the sizing works. So basically all you have to do to go from men's to women's sizing, for Nike at least, is go up 1.5 sizes. So normally in the Magista Obra, I wear a size 9.5 US. I went up 1.5 sizes, got a women's size 11 US, and the fit in the length as well as the width and the general shape of the shoe is exactly the same as that men's 9.5. So again, if you're looking to get any of the women's pack colorways, all you have to do is take the size you wear in the men's version and go up 1.5 sizes for the equivalent fit. So that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward, very simple to do if you are looking to wear any of the new women's pack colorways. This is one in particular I think looks really, really good. Very straightforward. Black and kind of like an orangish red color with some white in there as well. As far as the fit of the shoe is concerned, it's a Magista Obra, so they're pretty comfortable from right out of the box. The upper is soft, is padded on the inside, and it has a nice flexible kind of sock-like feel to the upper in general. The heel area is a little bit firm, especially if you haven't worn a mid-cut shoe from Nike before. But as long as you take in the break-ins process a little bit slowly, a little bit more slowly than you normally would, by kind of wearing them around your house, some light training sessions, and just really taking your time with the break-in process, not wearing them straight into a game or straight into a shooting session or something like that. You're just asking for issues with blistering and discomfort at that point. But again, if you take things slow, after a few hours of wear time, again, kind of just taking it easy in these things, you shouldn't have too many issues and they should fit you nice and comfortably, like I said, pretty quickly. As far as the overall width of the shoe is concerned, again, these are not women's fit. The shape is exactly the same as a regular pair of Obras, which will fit most people if I'm completely honest. Are they super wide? The answer to that question is no, and they're not really going to stretch much either. The way they fit from right out of the box is the way they're going to fit for their entire lifespan. But as far as width is concerned, like I said, these things are going to be suitable for most people. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the women's Nike Magista Obra. If you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find high quality images of this exact pair that'll give you a better idea as to how they actually do look in person, as well as buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions at all regarding the women's Obra, leave them down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.